What? Bring your crew and make this winter one for the books with Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st at Beer House. Enjoy winter brews that will tangle with your taste buds, polka dancing, games like Hammerschlagen and Stein Stamina, and more. Bach beer will be flowing and sausages and pretzels will be available for purchase. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the party goes outside until 6 p.m. before moving inside. VIP tickets are $75, but just $10 gets you in the door. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender Hog Wild beef brisket and top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Downtown Lincoln Foundation. Here is your host, Derek Pearson.
That is right. Welcome in one-on-one. No DP today, as he is making his way back from the East Coast, out and handling business in Washington, D.C. DP will be back tomorrow. Nick Sehnert with you through the 1 o'clock hour. I should say through the noon hour up until 1 o'clock. Bach in the black shirt will be with you from 1 to 3 as usual with Jake Bachhoven and Ferrell Farley. We have a loaded 2 hours coming your way throughout the course of the show. Adam Carricker out today. Adam is back once again tomorrow as well. But when you look at the next 2 hours, folks, buckle up. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line open for you guys the rest of the way, the entire show. You can always reach out to us on Twitter, 93.7 The Ticket, obviously, but also Nick_Sehnert. As we break down a loaded weekend in Husker athletics. Nebraska baseball 3-0 for the first time since 2005. We all know what happened in that 05 series or season. They ended up making it to Omaha, which obviously is a massive opportunity for Nebraska baseball. If that ends up being the case, you talk about the potential home field advantage for Nebraska baseball, but then also Nebraska softball taking down a number one team. Once again, second time this season, Nebraska softball able to take down a number one team. We're going to be joined by Nebraska softball assistant coach Olivia Ferrell coming up at the 11:30 segment. At the noon hour, we are going to reunite with an old friend. If you remember, if you've listened to The Ticket for a while, Nathan Brennan used to be with us here at 93.7 The Ticket. He ended up departing and moving to Kansas City to be with a CBS TV station down there. He is now back in Lincoln and working once again for friends at 1011. So we're going to be joined by Nate as we reunite with Nate in the noon hour, but then Husker basketball conversation and so much more. First, without further ado, let's go to the beautiful state of Arizona, where Austin Orman, our very own, is spending his last day in AZ. Austin, good morning, my friend. It is 9:07 in the morning there. Husker baseball gets rolling in just a little under 3 hours as they look to go 4-0, man. Walk us through it. What's the weekend been like?
It has been an incredible weekend of baseball. I mean, the weather's been absolutely perfect. I hope it's been fine back home, but we're talking, 60s, light breeze, clear skies. Salt River Field, really cool. Sloan Park is the airplane corridor. So every 30 seconds, there's an airplane going by overhead. Okay, maybe that's a little dramatic, but there's been more runs scored by Nebraska than airplanes overhead this weekend, which is kind of surprising. The Husker offense, Nick, has been absolutely incredible. 12 runs in the opening game against UConn, 7 against Northeastern, and then 9 yesterday in a game that looked like it was headed to be a little bit more low scoring, well pitched, well executed. But this Nebraska offense has been nothing short of incredible to begin the year. I mean, 12 runs on 16 hits against UConn, 7 runs on 14 hits against Northeastern, 9 runs on another 14 hits against GCU yesterday. And the pitching hasn't been far behind. This is, like you said, a historic start for Nebraska baseball. First time in 21 seasons that Nebraska baseball has done this. It's been good baseball top to bottom. Hasn't been, the Gabe Swanson show like in years past where there's just one guy carrying the offense. Nebraska's played good baseball for, I'd say 9 innings, but, they had the mercy rule against UConn. So it's been 25 out of 27 possible good innings of baseball, I think, for Nebraska. I've never gotten too far off kilter. Heck of a start to the year.
I mean, that's got to be the start here is we got to talk about the offense. I mean, Austin, you've seen it with your own 2 eyes. There's obviously been a lot of folks watching back here in Lincoln. You mentioned the weather. It's been beautiful. Of course, you couldn't go to a place like AZ when the weather back here is below freezing. But I think next weekend we're supposed to get closer to that freezing point. However, let's talk about the offense because while the pitching's been, pretty good, and there's been some surprises out of the bullpen and some really nice performances, we'll just start off with this just caveat of we understand that, hey, guess what? It's still early in the year. It's a small sample size, but for what it's worth right now, you can get excited and feel some promise about potential pieces of it. Let's talk about the heart of the lineup because there's obviously the very popular and now well-known statistic that hitters 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the lineup through the first 3 games all had multiple hits. And you and I texted a lot about some of these guys throughout the course of the last couple of days. But here's the deal. I mean, if Nebraska can get even a sliver consistently of this production that they're seeing from, guys like Case Sanderson, in this order of 2, 3, 4, 5, Jet Buck, Case Sanderson, Josh Overbeek, and then Dylan Carey, this is going to be a really fun year and I think efficient year for Nebraska baseball.
Absolutely. 2, 3, 4, 5 has been really the story of the year. And I would even maybe extend that all the way down to 6. Max Butenbach had a big shot for Nebraska in one of the early games as well. And then 7 is Cole Kitchens, who I've been really impressed with so far. But the returners there in the heart of that lineup after Jet Buck at the 2 spot. Buck's been, no pun intended, hit or miss. He leads the team right now with the 6 strikeouts in the box, but I've been actually really impressed with his power to both sides of the field. He sent at least 2 balls to the warning track, one of them to deep right center field at Sloan Park. So I'm not worried about, Jet Buck and the strikeouts. He's kind of a, dare I say, like a Jeff Kent style of second baseman where he's probably going to be, bat first. Fine with the glove. Nebraska's been really good defensively, but Jet Buck came through with a 2-run single last night to really spark Nebraska. Case Sanderson has been on fire. Right now, he leads the team with a 636 batting average, a 733 on base percentage. And Nick, that's something that Case Anderson has always done really well is get on base. He's always been one of the guys with the more disciplined approaches at the plate. He's got 4 walks and 2 strikeouts through the 3 games so far. Still waiting for a little bit of pop, just 2 doubles on the weekend for him. But Case Anderson's approach has been really good. Josh Overbeek has been fine. Had a couple ugly swings at times, but he's come through in a couple big moments for Nebraska. Dylan Carey, of course, walked off UConn, hit the first home run of the season for Nebraska against Northeastern, and came through again yesterday. So those guys, 2, 3, 4, 5, have been everything that Nebraska's needed them to be. And like you said, yeah, it's opening weekend. But Nick, we can just go back and let's look at the opening weekend for Nebraska last year. They go down to the Desert Invite. They put up 5 runs and a 10-5 loss to UC Irvine. They score 6 against Vandy and then 13 against San Diego State before that Monday after, which would be today. They only put up one in a loss at Grand Canyon. This offense has been firing on pretty much all cylinders. There's really only one player I've been worried about through opening weekend. There's been contributions from everyone, though, led by the heart of that lineup.
Let's talk about that, because that guy, obviously, I think you and I are on the same page with that one. It's Devin Nunez, right? Who's kind of, we looked into this season and really looked through last year, where I wasn't saying that we were struggling to find some bright spots in 2025. I mean, Nebraska baseball, they ended up winning the Big Ten conference tournament. They went down to Chapel Hill and had a fine showing out there. It wasn't anything to write home about. But here's the thing. Devin Nunez was a piece that when you and I would dissect, okay, what's something Nebraska baseball needs to do this offseason, it was make sure that Devin Nunez is in a Husker uniform. That's the honest truth, because we kind of identified him in our opinions as somebody that if you're a Big 12 school, if you're an SEC institution, you're looking at him as an intriguing piece that might be beneficial to either your outfield or your lineup. And he's also a guy that can play multiple positions, at least at that time he was. He's somebody that through 3 games has struggled, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, at least in 2 of the 3, if not all 3, there's been a point where they've actually replaced him and inserted a guy into it. Now, part of that could be you're up big, you have a substantial lead and advantage. Maybe you're just trying to get ABs for some guys. But another part of that is if you're somebody that might take his role, you're sitting there going, these are great opportunities to take advantage when a guy's maybe starting out in a slump.
Yeah, so Devin Nunez, just 1 for 8 on the year in 9 plate appearances. Of the 7 outs he's made, 4 of them have been via the strikeout. And they've just been, generally non-competitive at bats. It's not like he's fouling off pitches or fighting them off or taking many balls. Devin Nunez has displayed, at least to me, a pretty pull-heavy approach this year. Yeah. And he's got, for being not the biggest guy, he's got more pop than you might think, which is a good reminder to the parents of young kids listening out there. It's not how tall you are. It's not how thick you are. Bat speed is what matters. And Devin Nunez can swing it pretty quick, but he's just looked a little lost at the plate early on. The contact hasn't been there. Teams are pitching him a little bit middle out with a pull approach. I think he's just got to settle down, settle in, and take what the defense gives him in some ways, right? Don't be afraid to shoot one oppo until they come inside. Everything's a pull swing so far for Devin Nunez, who, to your point, has been taken out late in games in favor of Mac Moyer. Who's been fine. Haven't seen a lot of him. Nunez has certainly played more innings. If you look at Mac Moyer, he's just 1 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout in 4 plate appearances. I thought Devin Nunez has been fine defensively, but it tells me, one of a few things, Nick. Either, Devin Nunez is, struggling and they want to get Mac Moyer some at bats to see if he can handle it. Number 2, it was a close competition and they're doing a little bit of a timeshare right now. Or number 3, Devin Nunez is still taking to center field. And they think Mac Moyer's a little smoother defensively late in these games. I thought Devin Nunez has handled center field just fine, showed off some pretty good range a couple times, but that's the guy in the 8 spot in the lineup. And if the 8-hole hitters are the only one that you're worried about, kind of some of the nitpicky conversations we've had about Nebraska basketball, you're in a really good spot.
Well, and that's the thing. There was a lot of really exciting and bright pieces this weekend. I mean, you talk about some of in a really important year for Nebraska baseball. Like we had the expectations conversation on Friday before we really saw any pieces of this team. And, while it's early in the year, it's important for Nebraska to get some of these W's under their belt. Austin, you and I said, if you want to feel good about this weekend, it probably needs to be a 3-1 type of performance. And at worst, now Nebraska's sitting here at a 3-1 type of performance, essentially. And you have a lot of really big and important games on your schedule these next 2 weekends, with obviously Stanford today, and then next weekend in this order of Louisville, Kansas State, and Florida State. And then a 3-game set on the road in Auburn. And I mean, there's some big matchups this weekend. Nebraska just has to start off on the right foot. And some of these additions that Nebraska brought in through the transfer portal, and some of them have been really good in obviously Jet Buck is a name that we're talking about extensively. Cole Kitchens as well in the bottom half of that lineup. I just think that, once again, you look at this lineup 1 through 9, Austin, and while the table setters at the top, and we'll get to Jeter Worthley in just a moment, but the table setters at the top in your 1, 2, 3 guys, really just 1 and 2 with Jeter in that case, or even if it's Mike, and like one of those guys gets on base and then you can have some sort of production from 2 through 5 or 3 through 5. And then guess what? If DC is swinging it like he is consistently, the thing that impressed me the most about that heart of the order, you talked about it with like Case Sanderson, not a lot of home run potential right now, it feels like, but man, they're using all parts of the field, and that's just tough to complain about.
They're using all parts of the field. I think the approaches have been generally solid. Sure, there have been some funky swings from guys at times, but I think back to, I think it was in the Northeastern game, Cole Kitchens was fooled by 3 straight pitches. Took one looking, is called for a ball, swung over 2 breaking pitches, but he was able to settle back in and hit a single. You know, it's stuff like that, okay, maybe Nebraska's not facing, the low A pitchers that they would, maybe in the SEC consistently, but it's still the opening weekend of the year, and you're seeing teams best, at least for UConn and Northeastern in a lot of ways. Nebraska, I've been really impressed with their approach at the plate, Nick. I think that bears out when you look at Nebraska so far has 10 doubles on the year, a triple and 2 homers, 13 extra base hits for Nebraska compared to just 3 for opponents. Nebraska slugging .544, allowing a slug of .188. And then Nebraska's on base percentage as a team on base percentage of .460 through 3 games. And the opponents are held to a sub 300 on base percentage. Up and down the lineup, like we said, you keep getting contributions, and I think the process has been pretty good. We talk so much about approach, right? Last night, the approach was a little different, especially in the later innings. Relievers came in, they're throwing flat, first pitch fastballs. Nebraska pounced on it. Early in the games, they're seeing pitches, they're taking pitches, and Nebraska's not often going down on strikes, in 3 pitches. Nebraska's able to work counts and run pitch counts up, and that gets you into a bullpen quicker. And the more times that bullpen door swings open, the more likely someone is to not have it that night. Nebraska's taking advantage.
Well, I think also just once again, we talked about it on Friday before we had seen this team actually play, and we expected the long ball to be a factor, and we still do, I think, going forward, right? This is going to be a team that hits it more often than not, and more often than in years past. Maybe that's the better way to phrase that. But we both agreed that, hey, when you're playing in a cold ballpark in March at Haymarket, and you're playing North Dakota State, and you might need, it's just kind of a bullpen game. You might need some extra run support, things like that. It's easier and more stable to rely upon just being able to manufacture runs and being able to just string some hits together. And if you look at last night's game against Grand Canyon, this is where I really was encouraged by what this team could do offensively this upcoming season. Austin, you and I texted about it. Like, big opportunity for Jet Buck there. Get some additional runs, runners on second and third, less than 2 outs. You just need to get the ball in play. The infield's playing in. It doesn't have to be an incredibly well-hit ball. It's more about, and not that they can control placement, but essentially just understanding your job, right? And not trying to do too much. A lot of times in baseball, and I'll talk about this with Olivia Ferrell here in a while, is like you can try to do too much at times. And I thought it was very mature. I mean, this is a guy that has over 700 at-bats in his college career at various stops. I thought it was a very mature approach where he just kind of slaps one through the 5-6 hole on the left side, scores a run. Nebraska's able to keep the wheels spinning, keep the line moving, and you just continue to do your job, and good things will happen. And that's something, one of those characteristics that we saw from Nebraska baseball back in 2021 that made them so good, but we've been missing that on a consistent basis these last couple of seasons.
It's been, no pun intended, hit or miss. But the 4th inning was, again, kind of keep the line moving for Nebraska. The 8th inning obviously was when Nebraska scores 5 and really piles on. The other thing that I'll mention here, Nick, that the sign of a good offense, and I think a mature team, and a team that, could, let me put that qualifier there because it's early, could be ready to win, is the response, right? All 3 games. So UConn scores in the top of the 1st inning off a Ty Horn. Nebraska's offense comes back immediately in the bottom of the 1st inning with 4 runs, and they score again in the 2nd. Carson Yasa runs into trouble in the 2nd after Dylan Carey's solo home run. Yasa allows the 3 runs in the 2nd. Well, what does Nebraska do? They come right back with 3 in the 3rd to reclaim the lead. And then against Grand Canyon, it was a little bit different, right? Nebraska scored 1 in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th, and then Grand Canyon scored 6 straight zeros. But then, teams looking for some breathing room, right? 4-1's fine. You have Kevin Monell available last night. He was getting warm, I think. But to put the game out of reach to where you don't have to blow your closer back-to-back nights, where he's available with a day of rest, potentially for today at Stanford. Nick, I've just been really impressed with Nebraska's response to some of that adversity and the offense's ability to pick their pitchers up when they do run into a spot of trouble. The immediate response doesn't always happen in baseball. The fact that Nebraska has been able to, I think, is a really good sign of the mentality of this team of saying, hey, don't worry, just go out there, throw strikes, we'll play good defense behind you, get us back in the box, we got you.
Yeah, Austin, last thing before we let you go and let you enjoy the rest of your time in AZ, obviously, walk us through. I mean, it's been a kind of a crazy college baseball weekend. I know you've been keeping tabs on it. Michigan with an undefeated start on the season, down there at Globe Life in Arlington, where the Huskers will be at next weekend. How about this? Close to 20,000 fans in attendance for the Arkansas LSU matchups, Arkansas TCU matchup. Excuse me. It's college baseball. These are like the good games. There's a lot of really good games going on right now. Stanford played Oregon State yesterday, and Oregon State, the Beavers, walked off the Cardinal yesterday. Hopefully Nebraska can do something with a little less drama today. But, I mean, ultimately, it's been a really, really fun weekend in baseball. UCLA, number 1 in the country, lost game 3. I believe it was to UC Santa Barbara or UC San Diego, something like that, last night. So ultimately, there's been a lot of really good games, but Nebraska's doing their part in at least making sure that Husker fans are taking note.
Yeah, Southern Miss had a really fun series going on, but you mentioned that Michigan thing. Worries me they might be back. It's good for the conference. I don't like it for Nebraska. But
Tracy Smith, former Indiana guy.
Indeed. But yeah, I mean, to see Nebraska and Michigan get off to the starts that they have, I think that's really good for the Big Ten, Nick, right? Because these are big-time games against big-time opponents. That's one of the things we talked about on Friday, how tough it can be for these teams to get off to those starts against that caliber of competition. For Nebraska and Michigan to not just win, but really leave no doubt, I think shows you that the Big Ten can be in some pretty good hands, because UCLA's looked the part. You take 2 of 3 on opening weekend against a fellow regional team. That's pretty solid. So yeah, for Nebraska and for Michigan, it's important to have these early season eyeballs on you, not only because of the boost that you'll get to the RPI. I don't have that pulled up in front of me, but I'm sure both those teams will skyrocket after today if the numbers haven't updated. But especially for Nebraska, if you think about what Will Bolt has said his goal is, it's time to host a regional. This is how you do it. You've made UConn, Northeastern, and Grand Canyon look silly for the most part in these first 3 games. Odds are better than not that those teams are going to turn it around, and these wins will pick up value, right? I don't think there's an Oklahoma basketball stinker in the bunch, or a Kansas State basketball stinker in the bunch among these teams. And so for Nebraska to, beat good competition, sure, Michigan might get a little bit more national love because of who they beat and how they did it. But both these teams are taking care of business early, which is not a given. It's a testament, I think, to both these teams, how mature they can be, the coaching staff for getting them ready. And, it's hard to get ready from the jump. Credit to both those teams for doing that and making the Big Ten more than just, UCLA and everybody else, at least in the early going.
Yeah, there's only one ranked Big Ten team right now. RPI, I don't think it's released or mentioned until like a month into the season, if I remember correctly, officially. But the top 25, you have it where only one Big Ten team, and they're at the top, UCLA. But who knows? Maybe Nebraska and Michigan, if Nebraska can stay undefeated today, who knows if we get the receiving votes conversation next weekend and continue to kind of trend in the correct direction before you face Louisville, Kansas State, and 16th ranked Florida State next Sunday in Arlington. Austin, appreciate you as always, my friend. Any last thoughts that you have right now?
No Cooper Katsky, still under the weather. So we'll get Colin Novacek, lefty out of Elkhorn North, getting the start for Nebraska here today. Like you said, Stanford got walked off yesterday. We know plenty of Nebraska-Stanford in volleyball drama in big settings like this. Really curious to get a look at a pretty perennial regional team in Stanford. 3-0 start for the Huskers. Weekend's been everything you could ask for. It could be everything you want and more. Nebraska's able to find a way. And then, from Phoenix today to Iowa City tomorrow, who's got it better than us? Nobody.
Here we go, Austin. Get back safely tonight, my friend. Looking forward to a 4.5-hour drive with you tomorrow. There'll be plenty of breaking down Husker baseball tomorrow on the 4.5-hour trek to Iowa City for you and myself. Tomorrow on in the good old Ticket Mobile. So we're looking forward to it. Austin, safe travels back. Enjoy Nebraska, Stanford.
Appreciate it. See you tomorrow, Nick.
There he is, Austin Orman joining us live from Arizona. All right, let's switch sides from Haymarket Park to Bowlin Stadium. Nebraska softball assistant Olivia Ferrell joins us when we come back to break down Nebraska softball beating number 1 Texas Tech yesterday after a really just gauntlet of a schedule that the Huskers have had to play early on in the season. It does not slow down as they head out to California for the Mary Nutter Classic this upcoming weekend. The top 10 Nebraska softball team. Nebraska assistant Olivia Ferrell joins us when we come back here on 101. Nick Sehnert with you, filling in for DP right here, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender Hog Wild beef brisket. And top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Führer's cheese spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of February. Get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying. Let's sit around the table. Let's drop some plans. When we're looking out for a homeowner, we're always keeping their budget in mind. Let's put numbers together and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
It's another new year and another exciting edition of the Nebraska Lottery's popular Cash Blast promotion. You know how it works. Until March 24th, buy a 2x2 ticket and get a voucher. Enter online for a chance to win a $5,000 or $500 weekly prize. And if your winning voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is doubled. So start out your 2026 with a bang. Enter the Cash Blast promotion today. 2x2 top prize odds are 1 in 105,000.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Hey, Nebraska, this is your moment. Love Nebraska is already making noise on the court, but they're still missing one thing, a nickname. That's where you come in. Love Nebraska is giving fans the chance to submit the team's official nickname. Fans will then vote on the finalists later this season. Head to lovneb.com/nameyourteam to submit your nickname and get in the game. Submissions end on February 22nd. Name your team, shape the legacy.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, will treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Doren. God bless you.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
Back to One-on-One with DP. Sponsored by the Downtown Lincoln Foundation on 93.7 The Ticket.
All righty, welcome back in. It is One-on-One. Nick Sehnert filling in for DP. The show sponsored by our friends at the Downtown Lincoln Association. We appreciate them for their support as always. It is a very exciting time right now on the diamond for the Husker Athletics. As Nebraska baseball, we talked about getting off to a 3-0 start. They'll face Stanford on at 2 p.m., I should say, later today. But now it's time that we bring in somebody from a top 15 program in the country. A very busy schedule for this program the last couple of weeks. And we're excited to be joined by Nebraska softball assistant coach and former player Olivia Ferrell. Coach, appreciate you doing this on such short notice. It's good to have our yearly conversation, my friend.
I know. Thank you so much for having me. I was like, okay, here's the yearly text. Let's do this.
Hey, well, here's the thing. I need to be better, and I'll admit this live on radio, and I've texted you this before. I need to be better about having you on more often. So in the future, just get ready to keep getting texts from me.
Okay.
And hopefully you
ready.
just keep saying yes. But okay, Liv, let's talk about this because you guys first off started 2 weeks ago now, and you have played a gauntlet. Like walk us through, even without the caliber of teams that you guys have played, walk us through just what kind of mental fortitude you guys have to have this early in the year to play this type of travel schedule, because not only is it San Antonio in week 1, then it's Florida the next week, and now California this upcoming week. Just walk us through the mentality.
Well, we're very fortunate. I mean, a lot of our team is veterans. We have a ton of returners, and even the freshmen, they've been getting used to it. They kind of knew what to expect. The schedule's been out for a while now. So they kind of, in preseason, that was kind of our big thing was, you guys, it's coming. We know it. We need to have it. Just like you talking about with baseball. They want to be able to host postseason, and there's only one way to do that, and it's having this kind of schedule. And it's also kind of just how softball rolls. It's tough, but we're in a cold weather state, and we got to go. We got to go to where it's warm. So you just kind of have to do what you got to do. We've been pretty lucky. Like last night, we got to charter home after our win. So with, Nebraska, we've been very fortunate, and then getting to go to California the same way. So that definitely helps our athletes rest and recovery. And they do a great job of knowing their bodies and kind of what that takes on using a Monday like today of making sure they're doing what they need to do so they can go back and we're going to be fortunate to have some great weather this week to get outside before we head to Cali, and then we'll just do it all over again.
Yeah. So you guys play Friday. And these are just big picture conversations right now. You guys play Friday. I mean, so you leave Thursday. Is that the plan then going forward?
Yeah. That's the plan. We leave Thursday. So last week we left on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty quick turnaround. But this week we have that extra day, which will feel big. So.
As you guys, I mean, you mentioned the veteran leadership that you guys have. As you looked forward to this season, I mean, gosh dang, you guys were so close last year to reaching that final 8, and there was a lot of, I know, heartbreak and stuff in that, but as you kind of identified what you wanted going forward, you knew you had a lot of pieces returning, a lot of valuable pieces, We also lost a big piece, in terms of an experienced catcher and Ava Breadwell. But then in addition to that, like, how did you guys identify a couple of those pieces, more specifically in Jessie Ferrell, who came up huge yesterday, and then also Hannah Core? How did you identify those two specifically as pieces you guys wanted to bring in?
Well, we knew that, obviously losing Ava, and Carly's been a great DP for us right now, and she's a great young catcher as well. But we knew we were going to have to bring in someone with experience behind the plate, because losing Ava, she was a 4-year starter, so that was kind of the first get. And then with Hannah, she was looking for a new place to call home, and having somebody that we knew we needed something strong up the middle. So you got a catcher. Our pitching staff has been working great, and then the center fielder, someone that could command the outfield out there, and she's been doing awesome. The whole team really has just brought in everybody, whether it's the freshmen or the transfers, and just getting them all acclimated to Nebraska and competing together. But we just knew that if you're solid up the middle, then that's really gonna help the team out in general. So getting those experienced players there was huge for us.
Nebraska softball assistant Olivia Ferrell joining us on the Allo VIP line. VIP line brought to you by our friends at Allo Fiber. Let's dive in. I mean, talking about up the middle. Talk about the circle. Obviously, Jordy is a big piece, but holy smokes, as we've talked about it on various programs here, and just watching you guys these last 2 weeks, talk about the start for freshman Alexis Jensen and what that can do also for Jordy Fromm, where it might take a little bit of the pressure off of her. And like yesterday, I brought it up with my co-host earlier, Coach, where I was like, man, you talk about, as you guys as a staff, to be able to turn to Jordy and say, hey, we need 9 outs from you. Alexis got us through 4 innings. We need 9 outs from you. You feel pretty confident about handing the ball to a player like Jordy at that point.
Yeah, they've been awesome. I mean, you can see after the games, they have big hugs. They've been working super well together. Having Lex come in with just her energy, her passion, she's just a competitor, and she always has been. So getting her to be able to come in as a freshman against the lineups that she's been facing has been pretty incredible. She's learning, she's growing every single weekend. That was a huge thing, too, in our schedule, was making sure that we were at least going to learn from whatever was going to get thrown at us. And they've been doing that. And then Jordy, she's been loving it. And the rest of our staff, they're ready to go. Hannah, if we need to pull her in from the outfield, she's leaning into her role. Kylie McGee's been awesome. We're ready for this next weekend. And then even, Emerson, she's been more of our DP this year, hitting, but if she needs some innings, they're all bought into the roles they're willing to play. It's never somebody saying, I need the ball for 7 innings. It's, we're going to do whatever we need to do for the team. And if that's Lex for 4 and then Jordy for 3, or someone coming in for 1 inning, they're all ready to go and do whatever they need to do to help the team win.
So obviously you guys have played a gauntlet of a schedule, Liv, where you've gotten, obviously LSU and Tennessee is a top 5 team and 2 number 1 teams. You've played the number 1 team in the country 3 times. You've beaten them 2 out of the 3 times, which, a round of applause for that. But ultimately, talk about the approach that your hitters have to have at the plate, and because you're going up against some of the best arms in the circle in college softball early in the season, when we've been blessed, like you said, with some good weather, but it's just different seeing it outside and in that type of spot. So kind of walk us through what the approach at the plate has to be for some of your guys as hitters who obviously set records last year and have a good chance to do it again this year.
Coach Miller, she's our hitting coach, and she does a lot of work. She watches these pitchers hours on end. That's what she's doing today. She's watching all the pitchers we could face this weekend and making sure they all have really great game plans. And they've been doing a great job of buying into it. They're in here working. We have a few pitching machines that I program to pitch exactly as close as you can get to the pitchers that we're going to face. And that's been really helpful. And they have just been training. And then at the end of the day, they just got to get in the box to compete. And that's all you can do when you're facing the best, because they might only give you 1 pitch in that at bat, and they have to be ready to go and just be able to grind it out. We've been facing a lot of pitchers with 3 speeds. And so for them, it's just, they have to know that we just got to get in the box and get gritty. And we have a whole bunch of game plans we run through, and we've been a lot on the number 6, which is just called grind it out. And they bought into it, though. They know that, they just have to figure out a way to scratch some runs. And our pitching staff led into trying to put up put up as many zeros as they can, but the hitters are just working really well together, passing information, buying into Coach Miller's game plans, and just going for it.
When you look at how you guys have started this year, and obviously there's been some real impressive wins. I think you've played 8 of your 10 games against ranked opponents, and 6 of those, all 6 of your wins are against. You've won 6 of 8 of those. I just like you look at it, and when you bring it up the grinded out, gutted out type of wins, what does that do for you guys internally as a staff? When you talk about setting yourself up for a Big Ten schedule and obviously a lot of excitement at home, but like what does that do internally for you guys as a staff as you discuss this team?
We just know that they're willing to do whatever we ask of them, and they're going to go out there and give us everything. And so for us, it's just knowing whatever we can do to help them. Yeah. So whatever game planning, whatever scouting, getting in here on the Monday, already in the office, making sure that we have everything ready so that when they come to us ready, because Coach Ferrell is always saying, I'm trying to challenge this group as much as possible with the practice plans, with the game planning. Like they want it, they're ready. Like we said, they're veterans, and even the young ones are wanting to rise up with them. So it's been really fun for us to get to challenge them and keep pushing them to go and be one of the best teams in the country. Yeah. And they're proving it day in and day out. These aren't just, we're not looking at the rankings. We're not looking at, what are we this week? It's more about what is Nebraska softball going to do together to just go out and compete and win for us. And in our bubble, I know we spent a lot of time in the off season just working on serving one another and being there for each other and just competing as a team. And that's what they're going out to do. And as a staff, we couldn't be more proud.
Liv, as you look forward through 2 weeks, small sample size, but still, what are some things that you guys want to see? Obviously, you've seen the buy-in, you've seen the willingness to work with one another. I mean, what are some things, whether it's analytically and things that you can point to on the stat sheet, or just with your own 2 eyes? What are some things that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we can always get better, and that was why we wanted to play these tough schedules to kind of show some things that we needed to keep working on. I think we know that we'd probably like to put up a few more runs if possible. Yeah. So we're going to keep getting back to the drawing board on that. Like you said, we're facing some of the best arms in the country. So that's just part of the gig. But what can we do to try and have a little bit more team production and offensive production there? And then on defense, just making sure we're as clean as we can possibly be. I think there's probably been a few times that it's first weekend's out, right? Yeah. So you might practice things over and over again, but until you're on game speed, game time, all the pressure, you don't really feel it. So getting back comfortable with, okay, guys, we've practiced this 100 times. Let's get back to just clean defense, and we've got it. So I thought as the couple weeks went on, that they kind of settled in, but I think that'll be a place that we'll keep growing on as the season progresses.
Is this year 3 for you as a coach?
This is year 3 coaching.
Wow, man, time flies.
I know, doesn't it?
This is crazy. Well, so obviously for the listeners, you and I met through Nate and Carly.
I was like, Nate's on next.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
going on?
Did you know that? Did you know that before you joined?
No, because I started listening to your podcast when it came on, and I was like, I texted Carly right away, and I was like, so me and Nathan are back to back.
Well, here's the deal. Nate texted me on Friday and was like, "Am I going to be on at some point?" And I said, "Man, the guy comes back to Lincoln and just thinks everybody desires for Nate to be on the air." I know. But anyway, Liv, we're excited. Obviously, all Husker fans are excited to see you guys continue to play. Safe travels to beautiful Cathedral City, California. Yes. And I'm sure we will. I promise to get you on very soon. I'll just bug you on a Monday if that works the best.
Mondays are the best days. Anyway, every other day, not going to work.
Well, you guys are international travelers, so it's it is what it is.
At this point, it is what it is.
Where do you go? Okay, so after Cathedral City, it's beautiful Tulsa, Oklahoma. How about that for you guys? Anyway, all right. Coach,
that's a bus trip at least.
Oh, there you go. Well, Coach, we appreciate you as well so much. We'll talk to you soon. Good luck this weekend.
Perfect. Thanks for having me on, Nick. Thank you.
There it is. Olivia Ferrell, Nebraska softball assistant coach, joining us here on the I Love VIP line. Good stuff from Coach Ferrell, as always there. Nebraska softball, I'm telling you, take notes. Get ready to watch them because they are going to be a fun team to keep tabs on this spring and hopefully into the summer as they continue trekking towards Oklahoma City and potentially the Women's College World Series. A lot of excitement. Olivia Ferrell, obviously a former pitcher for the Huskers, had a really good career that she wrapped up in 2022, joined the program as an assistant at the end of the 2023 season. So really good stuff from Coach Ferrell. We will definitely have her on, whether it's with AD and myself earlier in the show or as we progress going forward. Great stuff from Coach Ferrell of Nebraska softball. We get a text in 8438 on the text line. Love the softball conversation. So there you go. We appreciate you guys as always. So once again, when we come back, we're going to wrap up the 11 o'clock hour. I can promise we're going to get away from the diamond, as we've clearly extensively talked about Nebraska baseball and softball. Nebraska baseball will start off at 2 p.m. later on today. We are going to give an update on Nebraska women's basketball over there at the Pinnacle Bank Arena right now. They're playing Iowa, if I could talk clearly. They are playing Iowa right now at PBA. Obviously, a big opportunity for the Huskers, and a game that you'd like to have as they're still looking for their first Quad 1 victory of the season. We'll step aside. One-on-one, Nick Sehnert with you. Thanks to Olivia Ferrell of Nebraska softball. If you missed any of that, you can check it out on the podcast page. We will take over and continue wrapping up the 11 o'clock hour when we come back here. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you've been around Lincoln for more than a few years, you've heard of Dewey's Computer Service. We've been fixing computers for nearly 30 years. Now, we're Wingman IT, and we take care of all the things that go buzz, beep, or ding for your business. Our team of support engineers take care of everything from computers and servers to business phones, network cabling, firewalls, and most importantly, IT security. We take care of technology so you can focus on running your business. Call us or visit us at wingmanit.com.
Planet Fitness has everything you need anytime the motivation hits, so you can give everything you've got. With most clubs open 24 hours, you've got access to our best-in-class equipment to tackle early morning reps, late-night miles, and every workout in between. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 27th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
Bundle up, bring your crew, and make this winter one for the books with Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st at Beer House. Enjoy winter brews that will tangle with your taste buds, polka dancing, games like Hammerschlagen and Stein Stamina, and more. Bach beer will be flowing, and sausages and pretzels will be available for purchase. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the party goes outside until 6 p.m. before moving inside. VIP tickets are $75, but just $10 gets you in the door. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st. If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Are you looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils, hot, bold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, and a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
Rick Heyman here from Starter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SauterHeyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Hey, Nebraska, this is your moment. Love Nebraska is already making noise on the court, but they're still missing one thing, a nickname. That's where you come in. Love Nebraska is giving fans the chance to submit the team's official nickname. Fans will then vote on the finalists later this season. Head to lovbneb.com/nameyourteam to submit your nickname and get in the game. Submissions end on February 22nd. Name your team, shape the legacy.
Hey fellas, let's take a quick time out here. February is American Heart Month, and listen, men are the worst at getting checked out. We'll watch every stat in the league, but ignore the most important one. That's our own heart health. So here's the plan. Talk to your doctor about scheduling a quick heart screening at Advanced Medical Imaging. It's fast, it's easy, and it could save your life. Your family needs you around a lot more than your fantasy team does. Make the call, get the checkup, take care of your heart at Advanced Medical Imaging.
Are you looking for a fresh new hangout spot? Let me tell you about Liquid Assets Sports Bar, where Mondays mean new weekly drink and food features. With 23 taps, a full lineup of cans and bottles, and 40 TVs blasting every sports package out there, you'll never worry about missing a play. Savor high-end spirits at their stylish back shelf bar, enjoy a healthy menu, family-friendly atmosphere, and catch all of your favorite teams every day. Doors open daily at 11 a.m. Liquid Assets Sports Bar, located at 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting lincolnteammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Back to One-on-One with DP. Sponsored by the Downtown Lincoln Foundation on 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome back in. It is one-on-one, no DP today, as it's an exciting day, obviously, on Husker athletics. Unfortunately, though, not great news to report from Pinnacle Bank Arena. The Husker Husker women's basketball team is struggling at the half. They trail Iowa, 13th ranked Iowa, 45-27 at the break. And Nebraska women's basketball still trying to find a way to get their first quad one win of the season. And unless something changes dramatically, not a great feeling about this one, as Nebraska trails by 18 at home against the Iowa Hawkeyes here on President's Day. We get some text off the text line, by the way, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Sauter Heyman text line open for you guys. Bill and Bennett says, gotta love it. The grit of Husker softball. Somebody said, love the softball conversation as well. Somebody on the YouTube stream, your Captain Cody. How about Cody? Give us more baseball. Never enough. Not enough. I think there's some folks on the text line that would disagree with that, Cody. So we are going to, unfortunately, pivot away from the Diamond Sports. But it's a great conversation, and there's a lot of excitement. Nebraska baseball will get started in about 2 hours' time. Nebraska softball off until Friday when they play out in Cathedral City, California. They'll fly out Thursday, as Coach Ferrell told us just a few moments ago. If you missed any of the show so far, you can always check it out on the podcast page, theticketfm.com. Just a programming note, DP will be back tomorrow, and so I appreciate DP for allowing me to fill in, though, from 11 to noon. Carricker is out today as well, so I'll be hanging out until 1 p.m. this morning. So once again, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line open for you guys. Excited to spend the lunch hour with you. As we turn the page to the noon hour, I will be joined by a really good friend as he is back from Kansas City. Nathan Brennan obviously used to host our afternoon show before moving on and moving to Kansas City. He is back as the main news anchor for 1011 News. You'll see him at night. We get to reunite. Nate and I will be back as we talk to him as we kick off the noon hour. A lot of sports conversation. We're still going to get his thoughts on the Huskers. We're going to get his thoughts about being in Kansas City for the Super Bowl, for the Chiefs reign, the Royals conversation as well. And if you know anything about Nate and I, we love to have a good time and joke around. And Nate does love Justin Fuente, so we're going to have to bring him up. But Nate is going to join me. Nate Brennan's going to be joining me on the other side. It's going to be a great time, great conversation as well, just about what drew him back to Lincoln. It's a hard place to leave, folks. It's a hard place to leave. We're excited to spend the lunch hour with you guys. In the lunch hour as well, in the noon hour, we will talk a lot of Husker men's basketball. Fred Hoiberg met with the media today at 10 a.m. We will have audio, thanks to Jake Sorensen for cutting that up. We will have audio with with Fred Hoiberg in just a moment. But first, when we come back, Nathan is in the studio. We're going to have some fun with this one. We're going to come back, and it's a one-on-one. Nick Sehnert with you here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Are you looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils, hot, cold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, and a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
Planet Fitness has everything you need anytime the motivation hits, so you can give everything you've got. With most clubs open 24 hours, you've got access to our best-in-class equipment to tackle early morning reps, late-night miles, and every workout in between. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 27th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day. Light winds. It'll be warm. The afternoon high near 69. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies and light winds. A low around 47. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies. It'll be windy and warm. The high near 77. I'm meteorologist Kyle Lucky for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, Call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Bundle up, bring your crew, and make this winter one for the books with Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st at Beer House. Enjoy winter brews that will tangle with your taste buds, polka dancing, games like Hammerschlagen and Stein Stamina, and more. Bach beer will be flowing and sausages and pretzels will be available for purchase. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the party goes outside until 6 p.m. before moving inside. VIP tickets are $75, but just $10 gets you in the door. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966. Hey fellas, let's take a quick time out here. February is American Heart Month, and listen, men are the worst at getting checked out. We'll watch every stat in the league, but ignore the most important one. That's our own heart health. So here's the plan. Talk to your doctor about scheduling a quick heart screening at Advanced Medical Imaging. It's fast, it's easy, and it could save your life. Your family needs you around a lot more than your fantasy team does. Make the call, get the checkup, take care of your heart at Advanced Medical Imaging.
It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Downtown Lincoln Foundation. Here is your host, Derek Pearson.
That is right. Welcome back in. No DP today. He is back tomorrow as the show sponsored by our friends at the Downtown Lincoln Foundation. It is time to bring him in. After all this time, he decided to leave me and head down to Kansas.
Is that what it is?
I didn't bring you in. I'm turning that off. I didn't bring him in yet. Wait, once again, the 11 o'clock hour, great conversation with Austin, who's down in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Mesa for Husker baseball coverage. Great conversation with Coach Olivia Ferrell of Nebraska softball in that second segment as well. If you missed any of that, check it out on the podcast page. You can also go back on our streams and pay attention to that. Also, reach out to us, 464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Sartor Heyman text line open for you guys. The rest of the way, we will be with you I will be with you until the 1 o'clock hour, and then we'll hand it off to Bach and Terrell Farley, and they'll take care of the rest of the day as usual. All right, without further ado, let's bring him in. Nathan Brennan. He used to be with us. He left us, and now he's back because Lincoln's a hard place to leave, and he's got a wife who lives close by. Nathan Brennan. Nate, welcome back to Lincoln.
I appreciate that. I don't know how to feel about this introduction. Like, I feel like it was a dig, but at the same time, it's okay, welcome back. We're glad to have you back. Glad to be back, man. It feels weird being back in this seat because it's so different from the old location. I had left right before you guys had moved to the O Street location. This is great. And I love, too, that everyone passing by can wave to us. while we're on the airwaves. This is awesome, man. Glad to be here. Glad to be joined by you, even though
joined by just joining me.
Yes.
Yes.
There you
Come
go.
on, easy.
But
you are not the main
Okay.
piece here.
I understand.
Anchor
okay,
guy.
Okay, I'm on this side, but this is awesome, man. This is cool. I'm glad that you're having me. Hopefully, we can make this a regular thing moving forward because I love to talking and chatting with you guys.
You do love talking.
I love what
Okay,
is it?
so-
You think something
so-
changed in 3 years? I
No,
mean,
no,
nothing
I mean,
is. If you guys know me, this is who I am. And whether it's on the airwaves, whether it's on your television screen, I'm a big personality. I love meeting the people. And Lincoln's an awesome place, man. I'm glad to be back.
So talk. I mean, I went down to Kansas City a couple of times. I don't remember you coming up a ton here.
What do you mean?
Did you came up for your wedding?
Of course. Yes, I was here for my wedding.
You were here
yes.
for your wedding.
Got married at Del Rey, right down the road from here.
You didn't get married at Del Rey.
Well, yes.
That's where your reception
the
was.
The reception was at
Yes.
Del Rey. We got married in the church here in downtown Lincoln as well. So, yes, I came back. No, I was there for a spring game. Came back for a spring game. See, it's difficult because my wife's family lives in New York, which is just long enough that it kind of makes it a little bit difficult to go back and forth. But I've been here a few times.
Okay, so let the people. I mean, I went down to Kansas City to visit you a few times.
You did. You stayed with us a couple times. You met
I did.
our dog Robert.
I did meet
So
Robert.
he's great. Rescue. We went to a Royals game too.
We did.
And
Do you
Austin
remember?
was there. Yes. Yeah. Austin
was there. We went to a playoff game.
Yes, we did.
But
yes, we did.
Do you remember this
Blue
was
October? Shout out Jake in the other room.
wasn't the first time I went down there. It was like a couple months after you left. We went down. I came down with who I was dating at the time, and we went to a Royals game. And it was the post game concert of Jake Owen.
Yes, it was.
And
good concert.
Do you remember what happened in that game? What we did on our friends at not our friends, but on a certain mobile site.
Yes, yeah, Bobby Witt Jr. home run.
Bobby Witt Jr. home run.
I do remember that. And there's going to be a lot more of those, by the way. Nick, did you know they're moving the fences in?
I did see that.
They're moving them in 10 feet. So Hitter's Ballpark now. How about that?
That was an electric day for us. Anyway, so either way, Nate, why are you back? Let the people know in case they don't.
What do you mean, why am I back? That's such a loaded question.
Why? So you left to join the CBS station. So you
in
were
Kansas City.
So you worked 2 jobs while you were here before.
I did.
You full-time with 1011.
Yes. Morning show.
Part-time
morning
with
reporter.
us.
Yes. And then I was
just a reporter though.
Yep. So just reporting in the mornings, and then was here 93.7 The Ticket in the afternoons. Moved to Kansas City. I guess it would have been just over 3 years ago now for the CBS station in Kansas City, KCTV5. Took a reporting job there. Also worked weekends as a weekend morning anchor as well. So did some anchoring, doing some reporting. And it was probably about 6 months or so ago. I was reached out from 1011. They were like, hey, do you have any interest in coming back to Lincoln? I know that you have a connection here. Your wife is from right down the road. You got married here, blah, 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 all that.
One of your best friends is here.
One of my best friends is here, of course, Nick Sehnert. And they go, would you have any interest in coming back? I said, absolutely. So conversations happened, interview process, move forward. And I guess it would have been probably about a month or two ago, the announcement became official that I was coming back to Lincoln. Been at 1011 for about a month now. Evening anchor with Madison Pitch, wonderful co-anchor. And it's been awesome, man. Like it's just crazy coming back here because if you've lived in Lincoln for any amount of time, if you lived in Nebraska, someone that's not originally from Nebraska, obviously had some hesitations coming here. I guess it would have been 5 years ago now. But it's been awesome, man. I mean, this is a great place. It's a great community. Everyone's re-welcomed me with open arms.
Yes.
So it's great to be back here. And there's really no place that I'd rather be. So 5, 6, and 10 o'clock on the evenings at 10:11. Hope you can join me there. Very passionate about this community and truly could not think of a better place to come back with my now wife, which is crazy to say. I mean,
I saw her post 6 months today.
6 months. Today is 6 months since we got married on August 16th of this past year. So it's crazy coming back with a dog, wife. We just bought a home too.
You did.
So moving
You did.
into a home.
Yeah,
It's just,
that
life
anchor
comes
money,
at you
man.
fast, man. Life comes at you fast. But truly, it's the people that brought me back. And like I said, there's no place that I'd rather be.
402-464-5685. Honda Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line. A lot of texts on the text line here.
I
Nate.
hope good things. I hope everyone's excited to hear me back.
Well, there's a couple of little things. So somebody said, One-Eyed Ray, huge fan of Nate, but I'm still hurt that he left. How long am I allowed to pout? A couple thoughts.
I don't even know. I'll let you. What do you think's an appropriate amount of time? I'll ask you because you were the one that was most upset out of many people.
Publicly upset, privately happy.
Yeah, I think that's
for both
fair.
of us.
And I appreciate that. And I would say, hopefully, you cannot be upset sooner rather than later. And I appreciate that you continue to support me. It's just one of those things, man. I mean, Nick, like, you know it. In this business, it's tough.
It is.
And you got to try and work your way up. You got to try new opportunities. I mean, it's just part of the gig.
Well,
and
you work so hard, and especially for like a place like the Ticket where we're it's DP and Rebecca talk about it often. Like we're a small team. And we are very proud and rightfully so prideful of the work that we do. And so even if somebody like yourself, I don't remember how long you were with us, but we get connected very closely, very quickly because you're forced to make it work and stuff. And so ultimately it is tough whenever any single person decides to move on or just decides to do something new. It's just very difficult.
And it was one of those things too. I mean, if you watched me when I was first at 10-11 5 years ago to the reporter anchor that I am now, I'm a different person. I'm a different person on air.
Yeah.
I'm a different journalist. I'm a different reporter. And it's just part of it. In that time of my life, 3 years ago, I was given an opportunity in Kansas City. I improved. I got better. I learned so much in Kansas City in a big market that I can now bring here to Lincoln, and hopefully we can continue to improve and continue to get better every day and serve this community. So I hope that you're not too bitter for too long, whoever that texter is.
One-eyed Ray.
Because it's just one of those things that the opportunity was there, but now there's an opportunity to come back. And I'm glad to be back and take this opportunity.
In Lincoln.
Yes.
At 10-11.
Yes, at 10-11.
Trey on the text line says, I'm not too familiar with this Nate guy, but you guys talk with almost the same exact cadence.
Interesting. I never really thought about that. Did you learn that from me? Because if so, I
was here before you, pal.
Okay. Whoa.
I remember
that might be true. Okay.
I was on the air when you came through the old station and got a little tour or whatever. And I don't remember who you got the tour from. But I remember I was on the air and I'm like, who the hell is this guy? He looks like a frat dude. Like, this guy is going to be brutal. And, but here we are. We enjoyed a lot of Salt Dogs games together.
Yes, we did.
We'll see. We'll find out how long I can pout depending on how many Salt Dogs baseball games we enjoy together.
All right. That's fair.
Or Husker baseball.
I can agree with that compromise. I can agree with that compromise.
Bill and Bennett says, I'm not sure I've ever heard Nick being any giddier than he is right now.
Hey,
Let's
you go.
not do this.
There you go.
Big Bird says, Nate, I missed your voice.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Big Bird. I missed you too. I did. Big Bird is a longtime texter too, so I'm very familiar with that name. So
Eric asks,
thank you for the support.
Eric asks, I don't know if you remember Eric at all. He's the one that always sends negativity onto the text line.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He goes, Nate, do you have any interest in replacing Nick?
No, of course not. No, of course.
Without me, he's not on the airwaves right now.
That is true. Nick was kind enough to invite me back, but
got kind of forced.
Whoa! Not
should
forced.
we play through the text?
Not
the
forced.
text chat
No,
last week.
I said you should have me back on. And I said, when's the best time for you?
And I said, wow, this guy gets
you
back.
presented the opportunity to me, and I accepted, and I'm glad to be here.
This guy. Then he sent me a reminder text this morning or last night. So are you having me on tomorrow?
Because you told me a time, and then you told me the updated time. The time had changed.
The honest truth. Well, never mind. I can't say that one on air. Ben says Virginia Tech sucks. You guys had the Hokie Bird at your wedding.
We did have the Hokie Bird. Herbie the Husker was at our wedding too.
That's true.
Ben, I appreciate that text message. Virginia Tech, speaking of, this is going to be I know that it was my name. No, we're not getting into that. Hokie turned Husker, I believe, was the nickname that I went by when I was on the first time around. I think that's still applicable here in this scenario. But I will say, this is my short Virginia Tech rant. They're back. James Franklin. Dude, I'm telling you right now, James Franklin is a top 5 coach in college football. And if there was ever a program that needed a coach like James Franklin, stability, consistency, he's going to get the most out of his players, already knows how to recruit the DMV, which is Virginia Tech country. That is the guy that we wanted. I'm telling you right now, Virginia Tech will be in the playoff in the next 3 years.
Okay, there you go. We'll see how that goes.
If the ACC doesn't fall apart.
Okay. Little caveat in there.
If the ACC remains intact, Virginia Tech will be a playoff team in 3 years. Okay. You heard it here first.
There you go.
There you go, Ben.
So
thank you for the text. I appreciate it.
So Ben was the one that said Virginia Tech sucks. He followed up with, I gave you a bag of sweet corn once. I promise that's not a euphemism.
No. I remember that. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that. That corn was actually fantastic.
I bet it
too.
was.
It was very good.
I bet it was.
Thank you.
We have a couple more. Let's see. We got Bill and Bennett followed back up with, did Nick finally give you your PS5 back, Nate? He's talking about your Xbox 360 that I took from you.
Do you still have that?
It broke.
What do you mean it broke?
So here's the deal. I wasn't expecting to have to talk about this today.
I completely forgot about that Xbox.
You don't need it.
I mean, I guess I don't need that Xbox, but it would be nice to have.
Well, you can have it back.
But it's broken.
I never got to play it.
Now.
I never got to play it
What do
because
you
it
mean
was
you didn't get
broken
to
when I
play it?
got it. I just never told you.
Also, to be fair, the reason that the Xbox was so great is because it was the last NCAA game that you could play. And now they've, of course,
it doesn't matter
updated the
now.
game. And now it doesn't really matter as much because it was what? NCAA 14?
Yeah, did I just take that from your apartment?
I believe so.
Okay, my bad.
I completely forgot about that.
It's actually, I still have it up in like my closet.
It just doesn't work.
I don't have it plugged in.
But does it work?
Yeah, you can turn it on. It can't read games. Like it's got one of those balls that are missing that you can't read the discs.
Gotcha. Maybe we can take it to GameStop and get
Whoa. No free shout outs.
$3.10.
No free shout outs.
How is that a shout out?
That's a free shout out.
No.
They are not paying to be talked about on our airwaves.
Okay, so
that's my
feel
bit.
Like that was like a backhanded compliment.
No, not at all. No, that's my bit. The texters will know. That's my bit. No free shout outs.
All right, no free shout outs.
No free shout outs. Somebody did ask, how long is Franklin at Virginia Tech, though?
That's a loaded question. Listen, this is, and I'm going to be full transparency and honest right now. If James Franklin is only at Virginia Tech for 3 years, that means that something went well. I would say
it's that mentality.
Of course. Dude, Virginia Tech is a
here.
nightmare. It's a mess right now. Virginia Tech can't even make a bowl game playing in the ACC. Players quit halfway through the season. It's a train wreck. It's a mess. But I will tell you, if James Franklin is only at Virginia Tech for 3 years, it means that he got a better job.
Mm-hmm.
He probably went to the SEC. And you know what? That means that the train is back on the tracks, and I am okay with that. I would be okay with it.
Thomas and Lincoln asks, did you miss us with the text line, meaning, or did you miss Nick more?
Probably the text line.
That's wild.
Here, listen. The reason that I say the text line is because I still see you. You would come to Kansas City. I'd been to Lincoln. I haven't talked to the text line or had this type of communication in 3 years now. Of course I miss
Hasn't it been
guys.
great?
And I appreciate all you guys being supportive too. The texts are awesome. I love hearing from all you guys.
Big Bird says, Nate. Okay, we're not reading that one. Let's see. Okay, a couple of these are inappropriate.
Okay, come on,
Bill and Bennett asked if you had to take the Nebraska driver's license test yet. I remember this.
Actually, it's funny too. Nathan Brennan on Facebook. I would appreciate if you gave me a follow. It's updates on what's going on in Lincoln and
do you run it
and everything like that. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
Do.
I didn't know, and I don't mean this as like a slight. I didn't know if at those those types of stations for their top people if they run it.
No. Yeah, I run it. So
you run
please,
I didn't know if you were Steve Sipple and didn't run your social media.
No Steve Sipple accusations here. I will say there was someone that followed me on Facebook, and that was one of the first comments that I got when it was, okay, I'm coming back to Nebraska. Yeah. I hadn't thought about that in probably a good 2 years because of how scarring that was. So just as a reminder for anyone that has no idea what's going on, when I first came to Nebraska, I applied to get a Nebraska driver's license, and there was something with my paperwork or something that had gotten messed up, and I was never supposed to take the written exam. But the sweet woman at the DMV, I'm not going to say nothing to say bad about the DMV. They're hardworking people, and I know that they have a lot going on.
We are a pro DMV show.
We are a pro DMV show, but this young lady at the DMV messed up something with my paperwork, and she said that I had to take a written exam, which I was not familiar with. I didn't know if that was just Nebraska policy. It's not.
Okay.
I failed the exam. I'll just go ahead and say that it was, I still don't understand what happened. I don't remember what the question was, but I failed my exam. So hopefully the transition from a Kansas license to a Nebraska license, it doesn't require a written exam. Because I don't know if I would pass it. If you had to take a written exam right now for a driving test, do you think you'd pass it?
Yes.
No, not driving. Driving test, I'd be fine. Like a written exam.
I know, that's what I'm saying. The written driving exam?
I don't think you could.
Okay, so
it's more difficult than you would think because it's questions that I haven't thought about since I was 16 years old.
So are there's got to be like an example one. Did you take any of the practice ones?
No.
Well, there you go.
Because I went as a hot shot like you, and I was like,
I never failed.
First time, I'm going to pass this. When you were 15 and a half taking driver's ed, of course you passed it.
Well, what can I say?
When I took it, I guess I would have been 24, 25 years old. So it would have been 10 years since I had taken any type of driving class or anything like that. It's difficult, man. I'm telling you. I appreciate that text message, though, because that's something that I hadn't thought about in a while. Now I'm rethinking about this. Hopefully I don't have to take it again. I'm telling you right now, if I had to take it, I probably wouldn't pass it.
This is tough. Okay, so I did pull up the DMV website. Question
Shout
number
out to the
one.
wonderful people at DMV.
Yes, yeah. Question number one on the practice driver's examination. Persons who leave the scene of a motor vehicle crash may have their driver license revoked for how many months upon conviction? It's multiple choice. 3, 6, 9, or a year.
I have no idea. I would probably guess 6, but I have no idea. That's a perfect example. I'm glad that you brought that up because that's something, if you were taking a driving class when you're 15 and a half or whatever it is to get a learner's permit, you'd probably know that.
Well,
I don't know the
driver's
answer to
license
that.
at 15 and a half.
Is that what is it?
Learner's permit's at 15.
In Nebraska?
Yeah.
15 and a half in Virginia and 16 years old and 3 months to get your license in Virginia.
Are you serious? You have to be half?
Yeah. It's 15 and a half is when you can first get your learner's permit. And
so you're only driving for
6
6 months with a fellow adult before you're just let go on the road.
9 months. 15 and a half, and then 16 years old and 3 months is when you get your license in the state of Virginia.
No way.
Yeah. I remember when
you have to make sure you're fully developed as a 16-year-old, I guess, for 3 months.
But when you're 16 years old, you can get a job. So I got a job as a bagger at a grocery store, but I won't say that because supposedly no free shout-outs. Kroger, they don't even exist.
God,
Kroger doesn't even exist. But I was a bag boy at Kroger, and I remember I was 16 years old when I first got the job. My mom had to drop me off. It was horrible. Imagine your mom dropping you off for your first job ever that you ever have.
Well, I did.
But my wonderful mother did, and I was very appreciative.
I was 14, and I worked at Amigos. This is well documented. Worked at the Amigos on 70th and A at 14 years old. So for 2 full years, my mom had to drop me off.
I know, and it's you're kind of like you're trying to like fit in. You're trying to be the cool guys. Like, okay, there's some older people that are working here, and then your mom drops you off.
Scott and Lincoln asked the question: on a divided highway, do you have to stop for a school bus stopped in the opposite direction?
I believe the answer is yes to that.
I think it is too.
Even if there's a median, I believe that you still have to stop.
As long if they got the red stop sign pulled out.
Yes. In the flashing light, yes. I believe the answer to that is yes. I think.
Eric says, so we have Bagel Boy Sip and Bagging Boy Nate.
Bagging Boy, okay, yes. That was my first ever job. Bagging groceries at Kroger. But how come there isn't a Kroger here in the Midwest? I've noticed that.
I don't know.
I've never seen one.
Okay, so we're talking about chains that are far away.
Yeah.
When I went to Canada this last year, Canada? Was it? Yeah, well, I went to Canada, but I'm trying to think. Tom Thumb. I was just somewhere and
what is it?
Tom Thumb?
Tom Thumb?
Yeah. Oh, it was when I was down in Texas a couple weeks ago.
What is Tom Thumb?
It's a grocery store.
You mean Wegmans?
No. Yeah, Ben just said Tom Thumb is Texas.
I've never even heard of that before. So
Tom Thumb. Yeah, I DoorDashed some. I just DoorDashed some
from Tom Thumb.
From Tom Thumb. Tom Thumb.
Tom Thumb.
Tom Thumb.
Shout out Tom Thumb.
Yeah.
No free shout out.
Yes. Scott and Lincoln. Tim Hortons is in Canada.
I did know that.
Did you know about
That's
Tim Hortons?
Coffee. Tim Hortons.
Yeah, it's like a breakfast. It's like a 24, not 24 hour, but basically like breakfast, lunch, dinner spot.
Yes. I did know that.
Somebody, Gorilla Bear says confusing Texas and Canada is pretty crazy. There's been fortunately, a lot of travel in the last couple months. Big Bird says, or somebody asked, are there Chubby Rhino? Are there Hy-Vees in Virginia?
No, there's not.
Okay.
The first time I'd ever been to a Hy-Vee was actually when I moved to Nebraska. It's the first time I'd ever. And Hy-Vee is a great place.
It is.
Good spot.
Okay.
Big fan of Hy-Vee.
Anyway,
good fuel savers.
Nate, we did not expect to talk about this for 25 minutes. How late can you stay?
Do you want me on? I could say I gotta be at work at 1 o'clock. So I can stay for the next segment.
So 15 minutes.
If you want me to stay, I don't want to crash your party because supposedly I'm inviting myself to be on the air.
No, it's not
That's
necessarily
exactly what I was accused of.
Hold on. Let's pull up this text
That's
right now.
That's exactly what I was accused of. I said, "What time do you want me to come over?" And then
yesterday at 11:01 p.m. Am I still coming on tomorrow?
Yeah. I feel like it's a fair question.
Here it is.
And you responded 12 o'clock. And I was here early. I got to see Jake. It was great to see him again. He said last Friday, or what was this day? Last Wednesday. Are you ever going to have me on? Yeah, I feel like that's a very fair question. Okay. Anyway, let's go to break. One-on-one. Nick Sehnert, that's Nathan Brennan. He's back, if you can't tell. We'll step aside and finish it up here in the next segment.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One on One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking to get a room downtown or near South Lincoln? Abe Lincoln would tell you no to the Ford Theater and yes to Lincoln Hotel. Save up to 40% off downtown Lincoln prices with a nice clean room and comfortable stay. Lincoln Hotel is locally owned and offers a day pass to the city's largest locally owned gym, Good Life Fitness. Long-term stays are available. You can learn more about pricing and book your Lincoln Hotel stay today at staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565. That's staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565.
Planet Fitness has everything you need anytime the motivation hits, so you can give everything you've got. With most clubs open 24 hours, you've got access to our best-in-class equipment to tackle early morning reps, late-night miles, and every workout in between. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 27th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Führer's cheese spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Back to One-on-One with DP. Sponsored by the Downtown Lincoln Foundation on 93.7 The Ticket.
All right, welcome back in. One-on-One, Nick Sehnert filling in for Adam Carricker here right now during this hour. Adam will be back tomorrow, as DP will also be back tomorrow. Appreciate you guys hanging on and hanging out with me for the last 3.5 hours. Been a great ride. It's been quick on a Monday, which has been nice. A lot of good stuff, obviously, with AD from 9 to 11. Austin joined me from Phoenix at 11 o'clock to 11:30. Olivia Ferrell, a mutual friend of Nate and myself.
Heck yeah. Shout out Liv.
Shout out to Liv. She joined me from 11:30 to noon. She told me to tell you hello as well, Nate.
Yes. Hello, Liv. You're listening.
I don't know if she's listening anymore. She was listening from 11 to 11:30 because she heard that you were coming on. And then she texted me after she hung up and it was like, tell Nathan hi.
Yeah.
So
great.
Anyway,
shout out to Husker softball.
Listen to Sports Talk. Yeah, I mean, how about that? Okay, so the first segment, we were going to talk Huskers. But
it kind of went off the rails.
Kind of went a shocker. Who knows? There's probably a pretty good chance Nate will be on consistently with me. Either way, Nate, where do you want to start? Should we talk Husker hoops first?
Yeah, let's do it.
That's what I was planning to
The
talk.
ranking just came out within the last few minutes.
That's what I was gonna, because we're both big baseball guys. We're both, obviously your wife Carly, a former Husker softballer,
yes,
as well.
Captain.
But
Shout out.
Yep, shout out to Carly. Anyway, let's talk Husker hoops because that's what I planned for this segment. Nebraska 9th in the AP poll. I mean, as somebody that started the season watching from afar, but now has kind of inserted themselves into the equation here, overall thoughts on hoops?
I would say it's just so interesting how far this team has come, because I'm looking back 3 years when I was here before. I know there's a lot of questions around Coach Hoiberg and his ability to coach the team and compete in the Big Ten. And then to now look at where this team is now, I think if you're a Nebraska fan, this is probably the best case scenario, because Nebraska starts out hot. There may be some F-word fraud allegations. You lose a couple games. You're still competitive. You're still in the top 10. Man, I tell you what, too. It's a fun team to root for, because you have some of these teams in college basketball, especially with the transfer portal, with NIL, no matter how you feel about either of those two situations, some of these teams aren't easy to root for. They're just not. And it's an easy team to root for. They play hard. They hustle. They're obviously well coached. They've been tested. They've now lost a couple games. The PBA is one of the toughest places to play in the country. And I think this team has a legitimate shot to make a run in March. Now, they have to get the monkey off their back. You got to win one game. Let's start with one game. But there's no reason as a Husker fan that you should think this team can't be competitive and make a Sweet 16, possibly Elite 8.
Well, and that's been my biggest thing, like all season long, is I've talked to AD about this countless times, because we'll talk about how this team is built and should have success in March. And I understand this thought process and sentiment from the text line of like, they just need to win one. Just win one.
Which there's some truth to that.
Which there is some truth and validity to that. But also I sit here and I continue to, I cannot get it out of my mind of like, they deserve to have higher expectations than that. They deserve to be viewed as a team that can make some noise. And so like, I feel like it's maybe this is how I need to categorize it. It might be disrespectful for us to sit here and say the expectations of the program should be Sweet 16. But I think there is truth to the expectations of this specific year's team should be Sweet 16.
I would agree with that.
Do you see where I'm coming with that?
I would agree with that. I just think it's so fascinating, too, hearing from other parts of the country, because coming from Kansas City, there's obviously a lot of KU fans, and you get some Mizzou and all that. Nebraska wasn't taken seriously at the beginning of the season.
Of course not.
Even if you're in Lincoln, I mean, obviously here we have so many discussions about, okay, this team is great. This could be the best Husker Hoops team of all time. Across the country, even regionally, if you want to go 3 hours south to Kansas City, they weren't taken seriously. That conversation, to your point, Nick, has changed. Whether you're in Kansas City, whether you're on the West Coast, whether you're on the East Coast, people are taking this team seriously, which I think is a credit to them and a credit to maybe they should have some higher expectations.
Well, and my whole, like, think about it this way, guys. And 402-464-5685. Think about it this way. Nebraska basketball has been ranked in the top 10 for, I believe it's 7 or 8 weeks straight.
Something like that.
We're
I thought you were about to give me a 6-7.
No,
I was like, oh my God.
No, I don't do that. I'm 24. I'm about to be 25. No rental car surcharge, baby. Anyway, I think, like, my thing is, let's actually sit back and recognize what's going on. Nebraska basketball, one of the more dormant programs in college basketball's history. Now they've had
the most.
Yeah, they've had some really good seasons the last couple of years in terms of 20+ wins and stuff. But
shout out Casey.
But ultimately, yes, there you go. But ultimately, like, they're a program right now that is in the top 10 of all of college basketball for 2 months straight.
You know what I think it is, though? And I as a Nebraska fan for a short amount of time, 5 years, whatever it may be, and I know that we have people on the text line and they call in every day that have been fans for decades and decades, especially of Nebraska hoops. I think there's a little bit of we're worried to get hurt again.
100%. Oh, that's just Nebraska
like that.
In general,
but I think basketball, especially because we're having this conversation now. Okay, say Nebraska goes into the tournament as a 3 seed. There's a lot of bad memories as Nebraska as a 3 seed in the tournament. You're setting yourself up if you're saying we're a 3 seed. We have expectations to make it to the Sweet 16 or longer, and you don't win a tournament game again.
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of hesitancy just because we don't want to get hurt as a fan base, which I understand.
Yeah.
But to your point, there should be higher expectations. Let's be honest with each other. There should be higher expectations.
I think that's treating Nebraska basketball the way it should be, right? Like, I think if you ask Fred Hoiberg right now, he can say publicly in the coach speak conversation, like, oh, we're just trying to win our tournament game. We're just taking it one game at a time.
Game at a time.
And that's great. Right. But I'm sure that if you were to ask the team, like, they're sitting there going, I'm not happy if Nebraska just wins one game. Like, okay, cool. Yeah. Like, at the end of this historical season that Nebraska basketball's on, and I'm asking Nebraska fans to do something that they're not going to enjoy this exercise, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's hypothetical, is like, Nebraska basketball fans, I ask you, put on this hat of, it is late March right now. Nebraska basketball was a top 4 seed. They got a triple bye in the Big Ten tournament. They didn't have to play till Friday.
Very likely.
It is very likely if they finish top 4. And we're sitting there going, all right, Nebraska basketball, sweet. They won a round of 64. They'll still be the higher seeded team in the round of 32.
Correct.
But if they lose, is the mentality from Nebraska fans going to be, hey, who cares? We won the one game. It's out. No. The monkey's off our back. We're chilling. No, you're going to sit there and say, man, you really felt like when they were 20-0 or 22-3 like they are right now, and 11-3 in the Big Ten, and their 3 losses have come to 3 top 15 teams.
And they competed in all of those games.
Like, you're going to sit there, rightfully so and deservedly so, and every person that's watched this season unfold, while it can be true, yes, just win the one, we're going to sit there and go, man, it felt like they could have done a lot more.
You know,
and it's not that it's a disappointment.
Sure.
It's just it stinks because that's what we expected and what wanted so much more.
I heard someone say this, and it was honestly a great thought starter. If Nebraska had a D on their jersey and they were just their jersey read Duke, what would the expectations for this team be? Final Four?
Oh, 100%.
But think about that. Truly,
it's because the and that's where I want to separate. And maybe it's not fair for me to do this. This is just something I've done individually, of separating program and team. Because Nebraska, the program,
I think that's a good way to look at
Nebraska, the program, the expectation for Nebraska's program in history,
win a tournament game.
Win a freaking tournament game.
Yeah.
But then the expectation for this team can be so much more, and should be, right? Because that's what they've earned. That's what
I agree with that.
There's also something about, like, all right, we always tell teams, whether it's on the football field, the diamonds, or on the floors, it's like, man, just earn it.
And I know
what do you think Nebraska basketball's done all year?
This might not be the best time to say this because we are in the middle of a historical season. it's kind of now or never. A lot of these guys that we're rooting for on this team are gone after this year.
Yeah, a few.
And
I
of
mean,
course
you're going to get Price.
rebuild,
Yeah,
but-
you're going to get Price. And I think that there's a blueprint for Fred and his staff that they know what they want.
Man, it is in today's college athletics, you got to strike while the iron is hot.
Sure.
Because if you don't, you have no idea what this team is going to look like next year. None of us do.
Well, you don't.
We have no
think,
idea.
I think I will say this, and I've heard in various things in that they feel really good about their chances to essentially re-sign everybody that they can.
Which I hope so.
I think
it's a dream for every team in the country, though, right?
But you talk about, like, for a guy like Price, and that's a great, and Braden Frager, right? Those are the two that you look back at next year and go, okay, yeah, you hope that Nebraska's feeling.
Let's get him in the gym this offseason and see what those guys can do.
I will go on personal record and say I feel very confident about Nebraska's chances to bring both of those guys back.
I sure hope so.
I am not unconfident at all that they're, I'm very confident. But what I say is, like, what other proof do you need? Right? Like, if you're Price, this has been your best season, and you've had in 6 of your last 7 games, you've scored over 20. You just dropped 29. Like, you're getting closer to the NBA in this system than you ever did at Iowa, right?
For sure.
And for Braden Frager, like, and I know Braden feels this way too, of like, this is a guy that they said, hey, Braden, reclassify, come in, redshirt for a year, trust us, and we'll see where you go.
Yeah.
And I think initially we might not have expected Braden Frager to have this type of year. Connor Essegian's injury forced Braden to have to be more ready than anything. And he's come out, and that redshirt year is incredibly valuable. So, like, for these guys that come in, the Quentin Rhymes this year, who is redshirting on that bench, right? Aleo Curtis, who I really hope that he sticks around and is able to be valuable for Nebraska basketball.
That's a big, the key word that you said, though?
Yes.
Hope.
Sure.
You have
Nate.
no idea.
Sure. But I said
no idea.
I think that ultimately, when you look at Nebraska basketball, the blueprint for Fred, like,
and I agree with that.
So
I agree with that.
Here's the last thing before we get out of here, and I let you go to your job. Is that with Nebraska basketball, like, so much of the concern nowadays in today's landscape, Nate, is that, okay, we'll dish out all this money, and this is from, like, donors and boosters,
collectives.
Yeah. Well, collectives are dead now, but, like, with revenue share piece, there's loopholes.
Yes, there is.
But anyway, whether it's like through multimedia partners, like, okay, cool. Like, we'll give you all this. I say they'll give you all this money, and we just expect you to automatically handle it perfectly. But there's a lot of concern that it's going to be misspent and spent, not in the right way. I don't know if there's a concern with that with Fred.
No.
Right? Because, like, these last 3 years where they've gone over 20 wins, and especially this year, like, let's not get it twisted. Nebraska was in on multiple other pieces in this last transfer portal.
Correct.
And whether it was decisions of the player or whether it was decisions of the staff.
Correct.
Like, they formulated this roster a specific way for a reason. And I think there's
worked out.
It has. And I think there's a lot of confidence from Nebraska fans because it's felt so stable, and the resources haven't been aplenty for Fred Hoiberg. And I think that's why Nebraska fans and all the people that are writing the checks say, yeah, okay, Fred, we got you now. And I
hope so.
I'm not concerned about that because I think that there's a lot of confidence that Fred Hoiberg and his staff will actually manage it correctly.
And I completely agree with that. I'm just saying the likelihood of a school of Nebraska's historical context, whatever you want to call it, of being a top 10 team for 7 to 8 weeks straight.
Yep.
I wouldn't bet on that happening again next year is all I'm saying. Let's strike while the iron's hot, win some tournament games, and go to the Final Four. Like that's I don't know why that's so crazy. Like if you told me 4 months ago I would be saying this, I'd call you psychotic.
Yeah.
That's not the case anymore. And so I'm saying maybe a little bit more expectations for this team this year is not a bad thing.
There you go. That's Nathan Brennan. Catch him at night on TV.
Dude, this has been awesome. It's great to be back. One final thank you to everyone that supported me and supported my my comeback here to Lincoln. And I hope you can join us on the 5, 6, 10 o'clock shows on 10, 11 evening news. Would love to see you there. And
you don't get to wear a quarter zip on
so
those.
I don't. I got to wear a suit and tie. So
what color is the tie tonight?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the color calendar.
Hold on.
Yet.
So
there's a color calendar. So
Whoa!
Yeah. So my tie, I usually try and match the color calendar as best I can. So
Really?
yeah, if you ever noticed that, that's kind of like
Well,
an
I knew that
intricacy
part. I
into
figured you and-
television. You'll see that we try our best to match.
I figured you.
try
And,
our best.
I figured you and Madison just like texted about.
No. So there's a color calendar. We try to follow it best we can. So
So do you
I
just
don't know what
do you
the
just
color is
keep
today.
suits at the station?
Yeah, I'll just keep my suits, ties, shirts,
Wow.
all that stuff. So
Wow.
intricacy into the news station. But
Anyway.
yeah, thank you again to everyone. So happy to be back in this community, serving this community on the local news. And again, hope that you can join us tonight and every night, 5, 6, 10 o'clock.
There you go, Nate. Who knows? Maybe you'll be back with me.
I sure hope so. It's
Maybe-
been fun, man.
Maybe we can
It's
do
been
this.
fun.
Maybe we can do this like once a
It's
week
been
or
fun.
something.
Would love it.
All right. Anyway, that's Nathan Brennan. Appreciate him as well. One of my good friends. All right, we'll be back. We'll close out the hour and get you ready for Bach in the Black Shirt when we come back here on 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One on One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender Hog Wild beef brisket and top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines. Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at lincolnairport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Is your furnace ready for winter? Call Bryant to perform a thorough check for comfort and peace of mind. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Whatever it takes.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Führer's cheese spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table. Hey fellas, let's take a quick time out here. February is American Heart Month, and listen, men are the worst at getting checked out. We'll watch every stat in the league, but ignore the most important one. That's our own heart health. So here's the play. Talk to your doctor about scheduling a quick heart screening at Advanced Medical Imaging. It's fast, it's easy, and it could save your life. Your family needs you around a lot more than your fantasy team does. Make the call, get the checkup, take care of your heart at Advanced Medical Imaging.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day. White winds. It'll be warm for the afternoon, high near 69. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies and white winds, a low around 47. And tomorrow, we'll see probably sunny skies. It'll be windy and warm, the high near 77. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
This is Jordy Ball for Anderson Ford. For years, Anderson has relied on an exceptional customer experience. But just this once, they're going to rely on a really great pitch.
Right now, lease a 2025 Ford F-150 for $199 per month.
Experience better at Anderson Ford.
Stock number 1007055. Previous service loaner. $199 per month. Lease for 36 months with approved credit. 7,500 miles per year. 6,800 to assignee. No security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 3/31/26. See dealer for details.
At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to One-on-One with DP. Sponsored by the Downtown Lincoln Foundation on 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome back in. It is One-on-One. Nick Sehnert with you. One final time on a Monday. Appreciate DP and Adam Carricker for allowing me to fill in. A massive thank you to my good friend, one of my best friends, Nate Brennan, for stopping on in and hanging out with me for the last 45 minutes or so. He's off to his job. Well, who knows? Maybe we see that collab more often in the future. Who knows? As we'll find out as the year goes on. As always, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, and the Starter Heyman text line are open for you guys the rest of the way here. Very short segment as we get ready to hand things off to Bach and Terrell. An update from over at Pinnacle Bank Arena. It's not a great one. Close your ears, plug your ears, Husker fans, as Nebraska, unfortunately, is on their way to more than likely falling to the 13th ranked Iowa Hawkeyes here at home. Iowa currently leads with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Hawkeyes are on top of the Huskers 76-53. So Nebraska basketball, Nebraska women's basketball, that is, struggling. They've hit a little bit of a rough patch here as their, I would say, descend continues. Nebraska women's basketball has yet to win a quad one opportunity this season. But ultimately, as once again, Nebraska, I should say Big Ten women's basketball tournament is the first week of March, and that's quickly approaching. And in addition to that, you have a situation to where on the men's side, all Big Ten teams make the conference tournament. On the women's side, that is not the case. 14 of the 18, the top 14 are the ones that make the tournament. So there's that little bit of wiggle room there with 4 teams that will be left out. And you hope that Nebraska women's basketball is able to steal a couple, win a couple, and potentially still sneak in to that Big Ten women's basketball tournament out there. I believe they play it in Indianapolis this year, maybe Chicago. So either way, a little bit of a concerning time right now for Nebraska women's basketball. They won the games they wanted to win. They were 11-0 at one point. Now they are 5-10 in their last 15. So a little bit of a rough patch here for Nebraska women's basketball. It's been a fun couple of hours spending it with you guys as we're about to embark and finish up hour number 4 of this Monday programming. Once again, we'll hand it off to Bach and the Black Shirt in just a second. But just to recap, if you missed any of The Drive with AD and myself. We invite you, obviously, to go back onto the podcast page, listen to that wherever you get your podcasts, or you can go back on the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream. On top of that, in addition, appreciate you guys hanging out for the last 2 hours of one-on-one. Thanks to Austin Orman for joining me down in Phoenix. Austin and I will be driving to Iowa City tomorrow. And so after I wrap up things on the drive, Austin and I will be embarking on our 4.5-hour journey to Iowa City to bring you coverage of Nebraska versus Iowa men's basketball from Iowa City. Then we will come back on Wednesday. Thursday afternoon, I fly out to Arlington for Nebraska baseball coverage as they get ready to take on Louisville, Florida State, and Kansas State this weekend down at Globe Life Field in Arlington. So a busy couple of days coming up. We're excited for it. And once again, safe travels back to Lincoln for Austin Orman from Phoenix. Thanks to Olivia Ferrell, the Nebraska softball assistant coach, for joining me in the 11 o'clock hour as well. Great conversation with her and talking about the top, I haven't seen the new rankings, but I would say hopefully top 10 Nebraska softball team. Knocked off number 1 Texas Tech yesterday. So exciting stuff there. Don't forget, in just a little bit over an hour's time, Nebraska baseball will start things off against Stanford. You can watch that on MLB.com. But that's it for us. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us on a Monday. A lot of Husker conversations to come on Bach and the Black Shirt. Terrell Farley, Jake Bachhoven got you until the 3 o'clock hour, until it's Jay Foreman and Harrison Arns with you as Austin continues his coverage down from Phoenix. All right, Nick Sehnert saying so long. Thanks again to Nathan Brennan for hanging out with me. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. I will talk to you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. on The Drive with AD and myself here on 93.7 The Ticket. Enjoy. Bach and the Black Shirt coming up next.
At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important.